If you love emotional Afro-Korean romance stories, you will love this. Make sure you watch till the end. The twist is insane. In the neon-drenched streets of Seoul, where the hum of K-pop echoed from every corner and the scent of street food mingled with the crisp autumn air, lived a woman named Aisha Thompson. At 28, she was a rising star in the world of fashion design, having uprooted her life from Atlanta to chase her dreams in South Korea's bustling capital. Her skin glowed like polished ebony under the city lights, her curls framing a face that turned heads, strong, beautiful, unapologetically black in a sea of conformity. But beneath her confident stride and killer outfits, Aisha was unraveling. It had been 6 months since her fiancé, Marcus, ghosted her right before their wedding. He'd left her with a half-empty apartment and a shattered heart, claiming he needed space via a cowardly text. Work had become her escape, late nights sketching designs for a high-end label, blending African prints with Korean hanbok influences. Yet the loneliness gnawed at her. Friends back home urged her to date, but in Seoul, where cultural barriers loomed like invisible walls, finding connection felt impossible. Apps yielded awkward coffee dates with expats who saw her as exotic novelty, not a soulmate. One rainy Friday evening, after a grueling day where her boss dismissed her latest collection as too bold, Aisha hit her breaking point. She poured herself a glass of soju in her tiny Gangnam studio, scrolling through her phone. That's when she stumbled upon a discreet app called Midnight Companions. It promised no strings-attached company, tailored to your desires. "Why not?" she muttered, her thumb hovering over the sign-up button. It wasn't about sex. It was about feeling wanted, even if just for a night. She craved the illusion of intimacy, a warm body to chase away the chill of isolation. With a mix of nerves and defiance, Aisha created a profile. She selected preferences, tall, mysterious, Korean, something different from the familiar. The app matched her quickly with Yi, a 30-year-old with a profile pic that screamed enigma, sharp jawline, piercing dark eyes, and a smirk that hinted at secrets. His bio read, "I'll make your night unforgettable, discretion guaranteed." Pricey, but what the hell. She booked him for 10 p.m. at an upscale hotel bar in Itaewon, the expat hub where worlds collided. As the clock ticked toward the hour, Aisha second-guessed everything. She slipped into a sleek red dress that hugged her curves, accentuating her hourglass figure, and added gold hoops that dangled like promises. "This is crazy," she whispered to her reflection, but a thrill buzzed in her veins. Arriving at the bar, she nursed a cocktail, her heart pounding like a drum. The place was alive with laughter and clinking glasses, a mix of locals and foreigners. Then he walked in. Yi was even more striking in person, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a tailored black suit that screamed luxury. His hair was tousled just right, and a subtle tattoo peeked from his collar, adding an edge. He scanned the room, his gaze locking onto hers with an intensity that made her breath hitch. "Aisha!" His voice was smooth, accented English laced with velvet. "That's me," she replied, forcing a smile despite the butterflies. He slid into the seat beside her, ordering a whiskey neat. "You look stunning. What brings a woman like you to a service like this?" Aisha laughed nervously. "Long story, bad breakup, work stress, I just needed a distraction." Yi's eyes softened, but there was a guarded depth to them. "I understand distractions. Life in Seoul can be complicated." They talked effortlessly about her designs, his travels. He was vague, shared laughs over cultural mishaps. He listened like no one else had, his hand brushing hers accidentally, sending sparks up her arm. As the night deepened, they moved to her hotel room upstairs. The air crackled with anticipation. Yi was gentle, his touch igniting fires she hadn't felt in years. But midway through their passionate encounter, his phone buzzed insistently. He ignored it at first, but when it rang again, he excused himself to the balcony. Aisha overheard fragments. "The shipment, rivals closing in, handle it quietly." His tone shifted from charming to commanding, like a switch flipped. When he returned, his demeanor was tense. "Everything okay?" she asked. He forced a smile. "Just work, nothing to worry about." But Aisha's instincts screamed otherwise. Who was this man really? As he pulled her close again, whispering sweet nothings in Korean that made her melt, She couldn't shake the feeling that this gigolo was hiding something massive. Little did she know, Yi wasn't just any escort. He was Park Ji-hoon, the underground kingpin of Seoul's most ruthless mafia syndicate, using this side gig as a cover to lay low from a brewing gang war. And in that one night, against all his rules, he was already falling hard for the fierce black woman who'd unwittingly stepped into his dangerous world. What started as a hired escape was about to spiral into a forbidden romance that could destroy them both. Are you enjoying the story? Drop a heart emoji in the comments section. The hotel room smelled faintly of rain-soaked cologne and jasmine from Aisha's perfume. Moonlight sliced through the half-drawn curtains, painting silver stripes across the tangled sheets. Aisha lay on her side, head propped on one arm, watching Ji-hoon sleep. His chest rose and fell in slow, even rhythm, but even in repose he looked coiled, like a panther pretending to rest. The small tattoo on his collarbone, a stylized black dragon curling around a dagger, caught the light whenever he shifted. She traced it with her fingertip, feather-light, and he didn't stir. She should have felt sated, reckless, maybe even a little ashamed. Instead, she felt awake. For the first time in months, the hollow ache in her chest had quieted. Yi had been attentive in a way Marcus never was, patient, intense, almost reverent. He'd whispered Korean endearments she didn't understand, his voice rough with want, and when she'd laughed at her own clumsy attempts to repeat them, he'd kissed the sound right out of her mouth. But the phone call on the balcony lingered like smoke. She replayed the fragments she'd overheard. Shipment, rivals, quietly. It could have been legitimate business, import-export, tech deals, anything. Seoul was full of sharp-suited men juggling high-stakes deals at midnight, yet something in his tone had been too cold, too final. Aisha slipped from the bed, careful not to wake him. She padded barefoot to the bathroom, wrapped herself in the hotel's plush robe, and stared at her reflection. Her lips were swollen, cheeks flushed, eyes bright with something dangerously close to hope. "One night," she reminded the mirror. That's all this was. When she returned, Yi was awake, sitting up against the headboard, sheets pooled at his waist. The city lights turned his skin golden, shadows carving sharp angles across his torso. He watched her approach with that same unreadable intensity. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked softly. "Jet lag from my emotions," she quipped, climbing back onto the bed. She kept a deliberate distance between them. "You." He reached out, fingers brushing her wrist, pulling her gently closer until she was tucked against his side. "I don't sleep much. Work keeps you up." Something like that. His thumb stroked lazy circles on her inner arm. "Tell me more about you, the designs, why Seoul?" Aisha hesitated, then let the words spill. She told him about growing up in Atlanta, the way her mother's Ankara fabrics inspired her first sketches, how K-dramas had secretly fueled her obsession with hanbok silhouettes fused with bold African patterns. She talked about the rejection letters, the visa struggles, the thrill of landing her first collection showcase, only for her boss to call it niche instead of visionary. Yi listened without interrupting, his gaze never leaving her face. When she finished, he said quietly, "They're afraid of beautiful things they can't control." She laughed, surprised by the warmth in her chest. "Flattery, included in the package, huh?" "No," he tilted her chin up so their eyes met. "Truth." For a heartbeat, the room felt smaller, the air thicker. Then his phone buzzed again, once, twice, insistent. He glanced at the screen, jaw tightening. "You should get that," Aisha said, pulling back slightly. "It can wait." But it buzzed a third time. He sighed, swung his legs over the side of the bed, and stepped onto the balcony again, closing the sliding door behind him. This time the conversation was quieter, but the urgency was unmistakable. Korean words snapped like gunfire. "Already moving. Don't let them reach the warehouse. I'll handle the rest." Aisha's stomach twisted. She slipped to the glass door, pretending to adjust the curtain, and caught a glimpse of his profile. Hard lines, eyes narrowed, every trace of the gentle lover replaced by something lethal. When he came back inside, the mask was back in place, but not perfectly. A muscle ticked in his jaw. "Everything okay?" she asked again, softer this time. "Family business," he said, the lie so smooth it almost sounded true. He crossed the room in 2 strides, cupped her face, and kissed her deeply, slow, possessive, like he was trying to erase the tension with touch alone. Aisha let him because the kiss tasted like goodbye and desperation at once. When they broke apart, she searched his eyes. "Yi, who are you, really?" For a split second, something raw flickered across his face. Regret, maybe fear. Then it vanished. Just a man who didn't expect tonight to feel like this. He pulled her down onto the bed again, bodies aligning with devastating familiarity. This time their lovemaking was slower, almost tender, as if both of them were memorizing every second. Afterward, he held her against his chest, fingers threading through her curls. "Stay until morning," he murmured. "I have a meeting at 9, she lied. In truth, she was terrified of how easily she could fall of whatever shadows clung to him. He pressed a kiss to her temple. "Then let me have these last hours." Aisha closed her eyes, listening to his heartbeat. Steady, strong, dangerous. Outside, Seoul never slept. Sirens wailed in the distance. Somewhere in the city's underbelly, a black SUV idled near a warehouse, waiting for orders from a man who was supposed to be nothing more than a paid companion for the night. And inside a luxury hotel room, a woman who had come looking for escape was beginning to suspect she had walked straight into a trap, one lined with silk sheets and whispered promises, guarded by a dragon in human skin. As dawn crept closer, Aisha made a silent vow. One night, no more. But deep down, she already knew the vow was doomed. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next story. The train to Busan sliced through the Korean countryside like a silver arrow, rice paddies blurring into golden streaks outside the window. Aisha sat by the aisle, laptop open but untouched, her mind replaying every moment with Yi. The way his laugh had softened when she teased him about his terrible taste in K-pop. The careful way he'd tucked a curl behind her ear. The shadow that crossed his face every time his phone buzzed. She texted him as promised. On the train, "View is beautiful, miss the city already." His reply came almost instantly. "Miss you more. Call when you arrive." She smiled despite herself, typing back, "Deal." Busan welcomed her with salt air and the roar of waves. Her hotel overlooked Hyundai Beach, the sand still warm from the day's sun. She checked in, dropped her bags, and headed straight to the fabric district in Nampodong. Bolts of silk, hanji paper, traditional dyes, her fingers itched to touch everything. This trip was supposed to be her reset, a chance to focus on the spring collection without distractions. But Yi was everywhere. In the way a vendor's deep voice reminded her of his, in the neon signs that echoed Itaewon's glow. By evening, she sat at a seaside pajangmatcha tent, nursing a bottle of soju and grilled shellfish, phone in hand. It rang, unknown number. She answered cautiously, "Hello." Silence, then a low, accented voice, not Yi's. "Aisha Thompson." "Who is this?" "Friend of Yi's. He asked us to make sure you're safe." Her stomach dropped. Safe from what? Trouble follows him sometimes. Nothing for you to worry about. Just stay in public places tonight. Don't go out alone after dark. The line went dead. Aisha stared at the phone, heart hammering. She flagged down the Ajama running the tent. "Excuse me, is there a problem around here? Gangs or something?" The woman shrugged. "Busan always has some, but you're foreigner, pretty one, be careful, Nee." Aisha paid quickly and hurried back to her hotel, locking the door behind her. She texted Yi, "Some guy just called saying he's your friend. Said to stay safe. What's going on?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "Finally, I'm sorry. I didn't want to drag you in. It's business. Rivals, they know about last night." Her fingers flew. "They know about me." "Not your name, just that I was with someone. They're trying to get leverage." Aisha's knees buckled. She sank onto the bed. "This is insane. I thought you were just an escort." "I was, but I stopped being just anything the moment you looked at me like I was real." Tears pricked her eyes. "I can't do this. I have a life, a career." "I know, that's why I'm ending it here. Delete my number, forget me, please." The words stung worse than any slap. She typed, deleted, typed again. "You don't get to decide that for me." No reply. She waited an hour. 2. Nothing. Anger replaced fear. She opened the Midnight Companions app, found his profile, now grayed out, unavailable. She searched his name variations, nothing. It was like he'd vanished. But she wasn't ready to vanish. She opened her laptop, pulled up every search engine she knew, and typed, Park Ji-hoon's Seoul business imports. Pages of results, logistics companies, a photo from a trade expo, him in a suit shaking hands with officials, smiling that same guarded smile. Another article, Park Logistics expands amid rising competition in maritime trade. Then deeper, darker forums, Korean underworld gossip sites. Whispers of the Dragon of Gangnam, a young boss who'd taken over after his father's suspicious death. Ruthless, untouchable, protected by money and muscle. Aisha's breath caught. The tattoo, the phone calls, the vague family business. She slammed the laptop shut. Sleep didn't come easy. Every creak in the hallway made her jump. Around 3 a.m., her phone lit up with a new message from an unknown number again. He's lying to protect you, but they're already watching. Leave Busan tomorrow. Don't come back to Seoul alone. Attached was a blurry photo. Her, stepping out of the hotel that morning, red coat bright against the gray street. Terror clawed up her throat. She dialed Yi's number, straight to voicemail. Ji-hoon, she whispered into the recording, voice shaking. If you're listening, I'm not running. Not yet. But if you want me gone, you'll have to tell me to my face. Because right now, I'm scared. And I'm angry. And I still want to see you. She hit end. Outside her window, the sea crashed relentlessly. Somewhere in Seoul, Ji-hoon stared at the same voicemail, thumb hovering over delete. He didn't press it. Instead, he forwarded it to his second-in-command with one instruction. Double the detail on her. No mistakes. Then he leaned back in his leather chair, the city's skyline glittering like broken glass beyond the glass. The dragon was awake, and it was no longer content to hide. Hello, guys. Please click the subscribe button before we continue. The voicemail played on loop in Ji-hoon's penthouse office, high above Seoul's glittering chaos. Aisha's voice, raw, defiant, cut through the silence like a blade. I'm not running, not yet. He slammed his fist on the desk, scattering papers. Maps of rival territories, shipment manifests, all blurred into irrelevance. His second-in-command, Minwoo, leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Boss, she's a liability. Cut ties. We've got the Lee clan breathing down our necks. The warehouse raid last night was them. Ji-hoon spun, eyes flashing. She's not a liability, she's mine. The words escaped before he could stop them. Minwoo raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Triple the watch on her, and get me a flight to Busan. Now. By dawn, Ji-hoon was on a private jet, the city shrinking below like a discarded toy. He stared at his phone, her photo from the app profile saved secretly, a candid shot of her laughing, curls wild. What was he doing? He was Park Ji-hoon, heir to the Dragon Syndicate, forged in blood and betrayal. Love was a weakness his father had warned against, right before a rival's bullet ended him. Yet here he was, chasing a woman who'd seen through his facade in one night. Busan buzzed with morning energy as his black SUV pulled up to her hotel. His men had reported her movements, market visits, beach walks, no signs of tailing. Yet, he slipped into the lobby incognito, baseball cap low, hoodie shadowing his face. Up to her floor, past the dozing security guard. He knocked softly. No answer, knocked again. The door cracked open, chain still latched. Aisha's eye peered through, widening in shock. Yi, Ji-hoon. Let me in, please. She hesitated, then unlatched the door. He stepped inside, scanning the room instinctively, windows secure, no bugs. She stood there in yoga pants and a tank top, arms folded, looking equal parts furious and relieved. You came. You called. He reached for her, but she stepped back. Explain, all of it. The calls, the warnings, the photo. Who are you? He sighed, sinking into the armchair. Park Ji-hoon, head of Park Logistics, legit side. But the real power, underground, smuggling, protection rackets. My family built an empire after the war. I took over when my father died. Mafia, she whispered. He nodded. The Dragon Syndicate. Rivals want what's mine. Last night they hit a warehouse. Thought I was distracted by you. Her face paled. So I am in danger. Not if I can help it. He stood, closing the distance. I tried to walk away, but I can't that night. It wasn't just a job. She searched his eyes, the vulnerability cracking her anger. For me either, but this, gangs, threats. I'm a designer, Ji-hoon, not some action movie heroine. He cupped her cheek, thumb brushing her lip. You don't have to be. Come back to Seoul with me. I'll protect you. She laughed bitterly. Protect me by dragging me deeper. Or let me end it, send you home safe. Tears welled. I don't want to go home, not without knowing if this is real. He pulled her into his arms then, her body fitting against his like puzzle pieces. She resisted for a second, then melted, fingers clutching his shirt. It's real, he murmured into her hair. Terrifyingly real. Their lips met, hungry, urgent, tasting of salt and unspoken fears. He lifted her, backing her against the wall, hands roaming with desperate need. Clothes shed in a frenzy, bodies reconnecting in a storm of passion that drowned out the world. Afterward, tangled on the bed, she traced his tattoo again. The dragon, protector or destroyer. Both, he kissed her forehead. For you, protector. But peace shattered with a knock. Ji-hoon tensed, grabbing his gun from the nightstand, a sleek black pistol he'd hidden in his jacket. Room service, a voice called. He signaled her to stay quiet, creeping to the door. Peephole revealed a uniformed man with a tray. Ji-hoon opened it a crack, gun concealed. We didn't order. Complimentary, sir, from management. As the man lifted the cloche, Ji-hoon spotted the glint, a hidden blade. He slammed the door, but the waiter shoved back, bursting in. Chaos erupted. Ji-hoon tackled him, fists flying. Aisha screamed, grabbing a lamp to swing. The intruder, Lee Clan tattoo on his neck, drew a knife, slashing wildly. Ji-hoon dodged, countering with a brutal punch that cracked bone. He disarmed him, pinning him down, gun to temple. Who sent you? The man spat blood. You'll burn for touching our territory. Ji-hoon knocked him out cold, tying him with bedsheets. He turned to Aisha, trembling in the corner. You okay? She nodded, eyes wide. This is your life. He pulled her close. Not anymore, we're leaving now. As they fled the hotel, sirens wailing in the distance, Ji-hoon knew the war had just begun. But with her hand in his, for the first time, he felt ready to fight, not just for power, but for something worth dying for. Back in the SUV, speeding toward the airport, Aisha whispered, Where to? Seoul, my fortress, our stand. She squeezed his hand. The dragon had found his flame. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next story. The private elevator ascended silently to the penthouse atop Ji-hoon's Gangnam Tower, a fortress disguised as luxury real estate. Floor-to-ceiling glass offered a panoramic view of Seoul's skyline, lights twinkling like distant stars. Aisha stepped out first, heels clicking on polished black marble, her small overnight bag suddenly feeling inadequate against the opulence. Ji-hoon followed, gun holstered at his side now, the casual hoodie replaced by a dark tailored shirt. Welcome home, he said quietly, the words carrying more weight than intended. She turned slowly, taking in the space. Minimalist furniture in charcoal and chrome, abstract art that probably cost more than her Atlanta apartment, a wall of monitors displaying security feeds. No warmth, no personal touches, just control. This is where you live, she asked. Where I survive, he gestured to a sleek bar. Drink. She nodded. He poured 2 glasses of aged whiskey, handed her one. Their fingers brushed, and the spark from Busan reignited, but she pulled back. Tell me the plan, she said, because running from assassins isn't a long-term strategy. Ji-hoon leaned against the counter, swirling his glass. The Lee clan wants the eastern port routes. My father locked them out years ago. They think with me distracted, they can move in. The waiter in Busan was their message. Back off or lose everything, including you. Aisha set her glass down untouched. And your solution? I hit them first, hard, take out their leadership before they regroup. Then I step back, legitimize the business fully, no more shadows. She studied him. You think you can just walk away? I have to, his voice cracked slightly. For you. The vulnerability hit her like a wave. She crossed the room, cupped his face. Then let me help. I'm not fragile, Ji-hoon. I've fought my own battles, racism in boardrooms, heartbreak that nearly broke me. I'm here because I choose to be. He kissed her palm. You're the only thing keeping me human right now. They moved to the bedroom, larger than her entire studio, bed framed by city lights. Clothes fell away slowly this time. No frenzy, just deliberate exploration. His hands mapped her curves with reverence. She traced scars on his back she hadn't noticed before, knife fights, old bullets. Each mark told a story he'd never shared. Afterward, lying skin to skin, she asked, "How did you end up here? The dragon life?" He stared at the ceiling. My father was ambitious. After the IMF crisis, he saw opportunity in chaos. Built an empire from nothing. When he died, assassinated, I was 22. No choice but to take the throne or watch it burn. I've been trying to clean it ever since. Legit companies, charity fronts, but the past doesn't let go easily. Aisha propped herself on an elbow. And me, am I just collateral now? No, he turned, eyes fierce. You're the reason I want out. Before you, power was everything. Now I see what I could lose. She kissed him softly. Then fight smart, not alone. Morning came too soon. Ji-hoon's phone buzzed with encrypted messages. Minwoo, Lee Elder's meeting tonight. Warehouse in Incheon, high security. Ji-hoon dressed in black tactical gear, movements precise. Aisha watched from the bed, heart in her throat. You're going tonight. Yes, end it clean. She stood, wrapping the sheet around herself. Take me with you. Absolutely not. I'm not asking to fight. I want to see, understand. If this is your world, I need to know it. He hesitated, then nodded. Stay in the car, armed escort, no arguments. She dressed quickly, dark jeans, hoodie, sneakers. Practical, ready. The drive to Incheon was tense, rain lashing the tinted windows of the armored SUV. 4 of Ji-hoon's men rode with them, silent, heavily armed. Aisha's hand rested on Ji-hoon's thigh. He covered it with his own. At the port, they parked in shadows near stacked containers. Ji-hoon briefed her. We go in quiet. Neutralize guards, corner the elders, force surrender. No unnecessary blood. She nodded, pulse racing. Through binoculars, she watched him move, fluid, lethal, a shadow among shadows. His team breached the warehouse. Gunfire cracked, muffled by suppressors. Shouts in Korean, then silence. Minutes stretched like hours. Finally, Ji-hoon emerged, face grim but unharmed. He slid into the backseat beside her. It's done, he said. They surrendered, documents signed. The routes are secure for now. Relief flooded her. She pulled him into a fierce kiss, tasting salt and gunpowder. But as the SUV pulled away, his phone lit up again. A photo, Aisha's face from the hotel lobby in Busan, time-stamped yesterday. Below it, one line in Korean. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. They had a mole. Aisha's blood ran cold. Inside your circle. He looked at her, eyes dark with resolve. Someone close. Tonight was a distraction. The real strike is coming for us. The city lights blurred past as they sped back to the penthouse. Aisha gripped his hand. Whatever came next, they'd face it together. The dragon's fortress had just become a battlefield. The penthouse felt colder than before, despite the city's heat pressing against the glass. Ji-hoon paced the living room like a caged animal, phone pressed to his ear, voice low and lethal. Find the mole. Now, check everyone, Minwoo, the drivers, even the cleaning staff. No one is above suspicion. Aisha sat on the edge of the couch, knees drawn up, watching him. The adrenaline from Incheon had faded, leaving raw fear in its place. Someone close had sold them out. The photo from Busan wasn't random. It was proof the enemy had eyes inside Ji-hoon's inner circle. He ended the call, tossed the phone onto the coffee table. They're sweeping the building. Full lockdown. No one in or out until we know who. She stood, crossing to him. You think it's Minwoo? Ji-hoon's jaw clenched. He's been with me since the beginning, saved my life twice. But loyalty can be bought or broken. Aisha touched his arm. Then we don't wait, we draw them out. He looked at her, surprised. You want to bait a trap? I want this over. I want us to have a chance at normal, whatever that looks like for you. He pulled her close, forehead resting against hers. You deserve better than this life. I want this life, she whispered, with you in it. They spent the afternoon planning. Ji-hoon mapped out a fake transfer. Sensitive documents moved to a decoy warehouse in Uido. Only a handful would know the real location. His private safe house in the mountains outside Seoul. If the mole leaked the fake intel, the Lee clan would strike there. Ji-hoon's team would be waiting. Night fell. Aisha insisted on staying in the penthouse while Ji-hoon led the operation. I'm safer here, she argued. Armed guards, panic room, you need to focus. He hated leaving her, but she was right. Before he left, he handed her a small black pistol, compact, easy to handle. Only if you have no choice, he said, showing her the safety, the grip. Point and pull, don't hesitate. She nodded, tucking it into her waistband under a loose sweater. Come back to me. He kissed her fiercely. Always. The safe house was a modern cabin hidden among pines, reinforced steel beneath cedar. Ji-hoon's men were positioned. Snipers on the ridge, perimeter sensors, drones overhead. He waited in the main room, lights low, watching feeds on a tablet. Midnight passed, nothing. Then the perimeter alarm shrieked. Movement, 3 black vans approaching fast. Ji-hoon signaled. His team opened fire. Tires exploded, glass shattered. Men poured out, automatic weapons blazing. Ji-hoon moved like shadow, taking down 2 before they reached the door. Inside, chaos, gunfire, shouts, the acrid smell of cordite. He cornered the last intruder in the kitchen, a young enforcer, barely 20, bleeding from a shoulder wound. Ji-hoon pressed his gun to the man's forehead. Who sent you? Who's the mole? The kid laughed through blood. You already know. He's been playing both sides for months. Ji-hoon's blood turned to ice. Minwoo. The kid nodded once before Ji-hoon's fist knocked him unconscious. Back in Gangnam, Aisha paced the penthouse. The guards outside her door were silent, professional. She tried calling Ji-hoon voicemail. Anxiety gnawed her. A soft knock. She froze. It's Minwoo, came the familiar voice. Boss sent me to check on you. Everything's secure. Her hand hovered over the pistol. Something felt off. Ji-hoon had said no one in or out. She cracked the door, chain on. Minwoo stood there, calm, smiling. Open up, Aisha, it's me. She studied his eyes. No warmth, only calculation. I'm fine, she said. Ji-hoon told me to stay put. Minwoo's smile faded. He's in trouble. The trap failed. Lee clan ambushed them. I need to get you out now. Her pulse spiked. Show me proof. He held up his phone. Live feed of the cabin, smoke rising, bodies on the ground. Ji-hoon nowhere in sight. Aisha's stomach dropped. She unlatched the chain, stepping back. Minwoo entered, closing the door softly. We have to move. They're coming for you next. She backed toward the bedroom. Where's Ji-hoon? Alive for now, but if we don't leave, he won't be. He advanced. Aisha's hand slipped behind her, fingers closing around the pistol grip. Minwoo saw the movement. His expression hardened. Don't do anything stupid. She drew the gun, hands shaking but steady enough. Back up. He raised his hands slowly. You don't understand. This was never personal. The Lee clan offered me a way out, money, power. Ji-hoon's too soft now. You made him weak. Tears burned her eyes. You were his brother. Brothers die too. He lunged. Aisha fired. The shot echoed like thunder. Minwoo staggered, clutching his chest, surprise widening his eyes. He collapsed. Aisha dropped the gun, hands trembling violently. She stared at the blood pooling on marble. Sirens wailed below. The real guards burst in. Ji-hoon's loyal men, faces pale at the scene. One knelt beside Minwoo, checking pulse. He's gone. Another took her arm gently. Ma'am, we need to move you. Boss is on his way. Aisha nodded numbly, letting them lead her to the panic room. Inside the steel vault, she sank to the floor, knees to chest. Minutes later, the door hissed open. Ji-hoon rushed in, blood on his sleeve, eyes wild until he saw her. He dropped to his knees, pulling her into his arms. I'm here, I'm here. She clung to him, sobbing. It was Minwoo. I shot him. Ji-hoon held her tighter. You did what you had to. He betrayed us both. Outside, the city continued its indifferent rhythm. Inside the vault, two people who'd found each other in darkness faced the cost of love in a world of shadows. The war wasn't over, but the first blade had fallen, and neither would ever be the same. The panic room's red emergency lights bathed them in a bloody glow. Ji-hoon held Aisha against his chest, her sobs quieting into shaky breaths. Blood stained the marble floor beyond the vault door, Minwoo's blood. Ji-hoon's men had already removed the body, scrubbed the evidence, but the metallic scent lingered like a ghost. He cupped her face, thumbs wiping away tears. You saved yourself, you saved us. I killed a man, she whispered. Your friend. A traitor, he corrected gently. He would have handed you to them. You did what had to be done. She searched his eyes. And now we finish it. Dawn broke over Seoul, pale gold light piercing the penthouse windows. Ji-hoon gathered his remaining loyal lieutenants, only 5 left after the betrayals and the firefight. They stood in the war room, maps and screens glowing. Aisha sat at the table's edge, no longer an outsider. She wore one of Ji-hoon's black shirts over leggings, sleeves rolled up, looking small but unbreakable. The Lee clan is fractured, Ji-hoon said. Their elders are dead or in hiding, but the head, Chairman Lee, is still in his compound in Uido. He won't run. He'll wait for us to come to him. One lieutenant, a scarred woman named Soo-jin, crossed her arms. It's suicide. He has 50 men, heavy weapons. We're down to a handful. Ji-hoon met her gaze. Then we don't go in guns blazing. We go in smart. The plan was audacious, a fake surrender. Ji-hoon would offer himself as tribute, head of the Dragon Syndicate handing over control in exchange for Aisha's safety and a clean exit. But the surrender would be a Trojan horse. Hidden explosives in the delivered documents, timed to detonate during the meeting. Chaos would give them an opening to extract Chairman Lee and force a final negotiation or end him. Aisha listened silently until the end. You're going in alone. I have to. If I send anyone else, he'll smell the trap. She stood. Then I'm coming too. No. You think he'll believe you'd leave me behind? After everything. He knows what you feel for me. Use that. Let me be the bait he expects. Ji-hoon's face darkened. Absolutely not. Soo-jin spoke up. She's right. He'll be suspicious if you show up without her. He wants leverage. Give him the illusion of it. Ji-hoon looked at Aisha, torn. She stepped close, voice low. I'm not afraid anymore. I've shot a man for us. I can stand in a room and stare down another. He exhaled, defeated. You stay behind me, always. They prepared in silence. Aisha chose a simple black dress, elegant, unthreatening. Ji-hoon wore a tailored suit, gun concealed under his jacket. At noon, they drove to Uido in an unmarked sedan, no escort, just the two of them. The Lee compound was a fortress of glass and steel on the Han River's edge. Guards patted them down at the gate. Ji-hoon surrendered his weapon with a nod. Aisha's small pistol stayed hidden in her thigh holster. The pat-down was cursory for a civilian. Chairman Lee waited in a sunlit conference room overlooking the water. He was older than expected, 60s, silver hair, calm eyes behind wire frames. 2 bodyguards flanked him. Park Ji-hoon, he said, voice smooth. The dragon finally comes to heel. Ji-hoon inclined his head. I'm here to end the war, my syndicate for her life. She walks free after this. Lee's gaze shifted to Aisha. The black woman who started it all, beautiful, dangerous apparently. He smiled thinly. Sit. They sat. Ji-hoon placed a tablet on the table, fake transfer documents. Sign, it's over. Lee leaned forward. You think I believe you'd give up everything for love? I already have. A beat of silence, then Lee laughed softly. Very well. He reached for the tablet. Ji-hoon's hand moved fast. He drew a concealed knife from his sleeve, slashing at the nearest guard. Chaos erupted. Aisha dove under the table, pulling her pistol. Gunfire cracked. One bodyguard fell, the other returned fire. Ji-hoon tackled Lee, pinning him to the floor. Call them off. Lee spat blood. You'll never leave this building. Aisha rose, gun trained on the remaining guard. Drop it. The guard hesitated. Sujin's voice crackled through Ji-hoon's hidden earpiece. Charges set, 30 seconds. Ji-hoon pressed the knife to Lee's throat. Your empire ends today. Retire, disband, or we all burn. Lee's eyes flicked to Aisha, then back. Something shifted resignation. He raised a hand. Stand down. The gunfire stopped. Ji-hoon stood, pulling Lee up. Sign the real document. Full withdrawal from the ports. No retaliation, ever. Lee signed, hands steady. You've won, but love makes fools of us all. Ji-hoon pocketed the document. Get out. Leave Korea. If I see you again, there won't be a next time. Lee was escorted out by his own shaken men. The compound emptied like a sinking ship. Outside, Sujin waited with a car. Ji-hoon and Aisha slid in. As they sped away, the building behind them remained intact, no explosion. The charges had been a bluff. Aisha leaned against him. You didn't blow it up. I didn't need to. He broke when he realized I'd die for you, and you for me. She kissed him softly. What now? He looked out at the Han River, glittering in the afternoon sun. We rebuild. Legit. No more dragons, just us. Back at the penthouse, they stood on the balcony as evening fell. Souls sprawled below, beautiful, chaotic theirs. Ji-hoon wrapped his arms around her from behind. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next story.